Hey, so after our last trip, I'm on a quest now to see if I can get a little bit more fuel economy out of this thing. And knowing that vacuum advance has a direct influence on that, I thought I would delve into this FireCore distributor. But first, a little bit about vacuum advance, a lot of us overlook. See, when the engine's running at super low RPMs, that timing has to be so far advanced to get all of that fuel burnt. That's why putting around we've got stinky exhaust. So much of that unburnt fuel, leads to carbon buildup, eventually increasing the octane requirements, reducing valve airflow potential. All that unspent fuel goes out the tailpipes. It stinks for one, and then for two, when you got fancy exhaust tips like I just bought, it soots them up. So another thing is fuel wash. That's a big deal. Unburnt fuel, of course, gets into the cylinders and washes oil, and therefore leading to increased wear on the rings and cylinder walls. Not to mention, bearing life and all that stuff. One of the greatest things you'll notice is fouled plugs, right? A lot of us complain about that, having to change plugs super often. Another thing people don't consider is the fact that exhaust valves sometimes can get to the point where you start burning valves and increased coolant temps, overheating, etc. So anyways, I've got this FireCore distributor. The first thing I noticed when I tried to index a hex key, of course factory vacuum adjustment, the later ones, not the dual point distributors, but the later ones had a 3/32 hex key. This one is metric. Go figure. Anyways, this happens to be 3mm, and I did a little experiment and wanted to see how many turns I can actually get out of this. 16 full turns, but 16 turns isn't definitely not necessary. The end of real adjustment is 9 turns. So I got it right now at factory adjustment, which is basically nothing. It's all the way clockwise. So the effective advance range is between 10 and 20 inches, which is probably a pretty good starting point, but I'm going to take it out for a putt and see if it pings at all, and then I'll start playing with that. But this experiment gave me an excuse to buy one of these Mighty Vacs. So I went down and spent, it was like $40, but I used a coupon. Anyways, it's really slick, and it doesn't require the engine to be running. But I thought it was kind of cool to watch. So I was going to see if I can mock this up for you. So watch the reluctor and the pickup. So I got lucky, and right now they're dead lined up. Let's get this gauge and the vacuum pump hooked up. Let's see if I can get this gauge under here so you can see it. Not very well, but yeah, this will work. So you'll see, watch that reluctor wheel at the same time with the needle on this gauge. You're not going to see any action until, like I said, it starts at 10 inches. Now you can see that your timing is advancing. So it's going to keep traveling until we get to, oh shoot, I hit the release. Let's try again. 10, 15, all the way to 20. And I can keep pumping this up, but to an extent, but we're out of trouble. And then I release it. So anyway, just thought that was kind of neat to show you. So we'll see what happens. Give vacuum advance a try. I mean, most of us throw it out the window because well, race cars don't use them. But race cars don't drive on the street. And when you're logging miles like we are, 180 miles per tank adds up pretty quick. So we'll see what happens, and I'll give you an update. Thanks.